thought process. So that's also the part that's responsible for things like misplacing items. Executive dysfunction is not just the ability to do the thing. Emotional regulation as well.
Yep.
There's a lot that goes into an executive dysfunction.
That's because there are 8 different executive functions, and those things are flexible thinking, emotional control, impulse control, organization.
Moo.
Cows.
Sorry.
Interrupting cow showed up. Thank you.
That was my impulse control issues.
That was. Task initiation, planning and prioritizing, self-monitoring, and my personal favorite, working memory.
Yeah.
I get hit by that one the hardest. And I find that actually when I'm scripting for doing a video. Oh, big time. Big time. I have to script. And the way that I do it generally is I will put shit down. I know you don't shut up. Fucking show off.
Right.
But the way that I will do it is I will do it in a Google Docs. Right. So I will, at the very least, I will put my bullet points down. And then when I go to record the video, I will record the one section. I will flip back over to the docs. I will look at the next line or whatever that I'm going to be doing, flip back over, record that, and so on and so forth. But the amount of times that I will read the line and go back over and start recording and fuck up a line because I'd forgotten it halfway through. The amount of times that I do that is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
If I didn't delete them off of my phone, the amount of times that I was like, blah, blah, fuckity, fuck. If I didn't delete those, right, it would be, my phone would be full.
You'd have no room.
My phone would be full.
You'd have no room for any more videos.
It takes so many takes to get through a lot of these videos. And it doesn't matter how long or short the line is, right? It could be a 10-word fucking line, right? It could be a 10-word line,
words,
or it could be a fucking 3-word line, and I will fuck it up every single time, like 5 times in a row.
Yep. And I will do the same thing. And like, I've kind of got it down to a bit of a pattern where it depends on the topic. On a lot of the rants, if I get heated enough, then I'm good.
Yeah, those flow.
Right? Then I will only fuck up like, I don't know, 3 or 4 kind of thing overall. But for something where it's like educational stuff or a question that was asked or whatever, and I had to do a little bit of research homework, and if there's a longer term or something in there that I'm not generally familiar with and don't use very often, right? If there's something like that, okay, I kind of expect to trip over that. But for the educational stuff or the Q&A stuff or whatever,
all the time,
I will fuck those up constantly. Constantly.
All the fucking time.
And here's the thing is, like, I think with the rants, the reason they flow so easily is because we don't get any original content anymore. People don't, like, the psychic one was like one of the most original we've gotten in a while. Right?
What psychic one? You won't find it on my page unless the appeals process goes through. But you will find it on my Instagram. Fuck you, psychic bitch.
But I mean, and even she didn't fucking come at us with anything.
Did you see that coming?
Right? She came at us with the superpower. Right? Like, we deal with these all the fucking time. So the talking points are just grilled into our heads now. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Our clapbacks are... The only thing we do with our clapbacks is we tailor them to the experience. Right? Most of the stuff that we're dealing with is the same shit we deal with over and over and over again, which means it's not usually working memory anymore at that point.
No.
This is stored memory that we have. So that's why we're able to flow through them so easily.
Which is not something that is affected by ADHD. Nope. Our long-term memory is not affected. It is our working memory that is. I also want to point out that we changed, like, to bring executive dysfunction into this little world, our podcast, Spaz. Patrick, how you doing? How you doing?
Fuck off.
Depends.
We had to change the way that we recorded our podcasts. Not only to make things easier for Spaz, but because we lack impulse control and will talk over each other the entire time. So what you're currently hearing now is actually us talking over one another and Spaz having to edit it so that nobody is talking over one another.
It's totally true.
Because we all lack impulse control.
I mean, it made it easier because we each record our own audio and send it to Spaz so that he can play his magic audio games with it and make it sound like we're fucking coherent and not talking over each other all the time.
Which I generally do, except last week where I fucking forgot to record myself and had to pull myself out of the one where everybody's talking over each other. So, as you can well imagine, I feel like an idiot.
Now, I will say this: when you guys see the episode, the live episode, you're going to see the fuckery that abounds in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there will be no way to hide it. Yeah. You will see us talking all over each other.
There is no post editing.
No, it will not be clean. It will not be cute. You will see fuckery abound.
You're getting the raw cut.
You will struggle to figure out who is saying what when, because we are all talking a different idea that is related to one another at the same time.
So and oh, hey, what is that problem that we're having there, right? The self-control problem. Not being able to stop each other from talking over each other. Spaz can be talking, and I will have to physically restrain myself from not saying something because I want to interject, because I like his point, but I can't shut the fuck up and let him finish it before I try to interject.
This is what I'm doing right now to hold myself back.
This is mine. So, in addition to this, we were supposed to have hand signals. When we first started this, we came up with a system for hand signals for things like time, or that we need to interject, or that we have something we need to say so that we know the order that people were going in. We've never used it. Thanks, working memory.
Great, awesome thing. That was hey, that was our organization at work. It just never stuck.
No.
I did it once. Once.
Yep. No, that's not true. Twice. 2 episodes ago when you started streaming instead of recording.
Yes.
So the way that we have to, the way that we do the audio now, where each one of us is doing it individually. If you happen to catch the split minute and a half or so that I accidentally hit start streaming instead of start recording and went live on Twitch while we were recording an episode and you couldn't hear them?
She did that and fucked up this beautiful stream of consciousness I had going. Like, I had this great thing going, and she's like, okay, stop time. And then fucking we get back and I'm like, duh, I don't remember what the fuck I was saying.
Right? And why is that? Working
memory, right? Fucking A.
I was hoping that I'd get away without having to mention the whole going live thing. Like, not everybody is aware that I went live, but here we are. Yes, again. I fucked up.
So of course, we're talking about all these executive functions and how they impact us and things like that. And every ADHD person has a story of how invalidation caused their executive functions to go through the roof. Right? Like cause them to just derail any progress you were making and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and step in on this one. I'm going to talk about my problem with invalidation that caused my executive function to just completely derail. As many of you know, I attempted to commit suicide in the beginning of July, and I was placed in a hospital for that. Which was an excellent thing for me. I needed that. I wasn't taking my meds. I wasn't taking care of myself. And I needed that time to remember to take care of myself. But when I went into the hospital, they forced a medicine change on me. And they forced me to take Effexor. And I asked multiple times to the doctors involved that I did not want to take this med. I did not like the side effects associated with it. I did not feel good about this med.
Effexor can be a real rough one.
I remember.
Yeah, I knew my Lexapro and Wellbutrin would work for me if I was taking them regularly again. And they ignored me, they invalidated my concerns, and they put me on Effexor. So for the entire month of July and into August, before I switched to Strattera, I was on Effexor. And my executive function went just fucking tanked, right? Like, I didn't have really great executive function before. I had nothing. I struggled to have the self-control to just get out of bed, right? And not just get out of bed, but get out of bed and take my meds and brush my teeth, even though I knew that if I didn't take my fucking meds, I'd be back in the hospital again, right? Like, just there, right? These people invalidated me so hard that I had no ability to regulate my emotions, which put my relationship in jeopardy, right? Katie and I had never had a verbal, like a loud verbal argument, screaming at each other, probably for, I don't know, I'd say at least a year without having a blow up like that. And they became weekly occurrences while I was on Effexor, if not daily. I had no organizational skill. I had no task initiation skill. I couldn't fucking get up in the morning to eat, let alone do anything around the house. Which meant no planning and time management. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't encourage myself to do anything. And lo and behold, the wonderful thing in my life came back that I had thought I had pretty good control of. My dysgraphia has fucking tanked. My ability to control my dysgraphia has tanked. I type shit out when I'm talking to people in the Discord and stuff like that, and what comes out is fucking Egyptian.
No, it's wingdings.
It looks perfectly normal. In my brain, I see the exact thing that I was typing out, and then I hit enter, and it's nothing of what it is. So all of these things, all these invalidating tactics that these guys put me through by not listening to me, not understanding my concerns, and not understanding my fears, destroyed my life. Now, thankfully, the only good thing I will say about Effexor is it did a really good job with my depression. It kept my depressive thoughts totally under control. Mm-hmm. So I didn't plummet, but if it didn't, I would be surprised if I wasn't back in the hospital again for another attempt, because my self-worth went through the fucking floor.
I'm almost surprised that they jumped to Effexor, because typically Effexor is linked with severe withdrawals when you come off of it as well.
Oh, I know. I know.
Well, before he goes on about his, because I know his were bad. When I initially went in 20 years ago to talk to the doctor because, something wasn't right in my head, I wasn't sure what was going on. The first thing they did was they put me on Effexor because they thought it was depression, right? So they put me on Effexor, and I've said it before, it took my entire emotional range and squashed it down paper thin. So I was literally a zombie, and I don't remember exactly how long I was on it. I think it was about a month or a month and a half. And then I was like, this isn't doing shit. Like, I feel like shit all the time. I don't feel anything, really. So I went back to the doctor, and I talked to him about it, and he's like, okay, well, no, we did the whole run through, and then holy fuck, ADHD, next thing you know, right? But coming off of the Effexor, oh my fuck, that was probably the hardest 2-3 weeks, I think it was, until I got out of my system. Holy shit, just brutal.
Effexor's a rough one.
Yeah. I'm still suffering right now. Like, my ability to regulate heat, like, my house has not changed in temperature. I maintain my temperature in my house at 69 degrees all fucking year long.
Are you a fucking polar bear? I thought you were an ape. Don't apes live in the jungle?
They also fucking enjoy cold, okay? I love my cold house.
Sources.
Citation needed.
It is worth my money to pay for my house to stay at this temperature, because this is the temperature I'm comfortable in.
No,
I'm sweating.
This
right
coming
now.
from the person who keeps their house at 78.
We just shivered for those who don't see
AC
it.
vent. My AC vent is right down here, blowing directly at me, and I have a fan right there. I'm sweating bullets right now because I'm still suffering from the heat regulation. The vertigo, it's fucking terrible. Now, and what I did was, when I came off my Effexor, is I was on VC a lot, voice chat. For those who don't know what VC is, I was on voice chat in Discord, and people got to see what it was doing to me. Right? I didn't hide it. I wanted people to see what it was doing to me. I was only on this med for like 8 weeks, and it fucking annihilated me coming off of it. And like I said, I'm still suffering to this moment. And I swore I did not want to do this. I swore I didn't want to do this. My doctor, who I finally met with, was like, okay, you don't like it. You're having effects. Let's change you off to something else. And they put me on Strattera. I did my switch to Strattera. The day I switched completely to just Strattera and not the mix, I got up and did fucking shit all over the house before 10 a.m. That's basic shit. Like, take out the trash and, move the laundry from the bedroom to the laundry room so it can be sorted, and then sort it, right? Little shit. I should not have been so fucking proud of myself for being able to do it. But I can tell you, I was on the high. They will tell you, they saw me. I was high as a kite, saying I just did little shit because I could finally do the things that I needed to do. I finally had some type of control of my executive function.
This is the part where I do jump in, and I do use my background a little bit. Mm-hmm. To put a disclaimer here, the stories that you just heard about Effexor are personal experiences about Effexor from two people. That does not mean that if you are on Effexor and it works well for you, that you should come off of your medication.
Absolutely.